Coach Montgomery make a quick opening statement, then we'll open it up for some questions.
Yeah, I just want to start. It's been an emotional week. Very proud of our players and our coaching staff. With all the things that have gone on throughout the week, I told y'all throughout the week that guys had shown up, guys had practiced extremely hard, did some really good things, really liked our energy and our tempo and the things that we were doing, and we wanted to roll that into this week. We talked about playing a complete game. We play in 4 quarters, being stout on defense, doing the things and becoming more balanced on offense. I thought we did a lot of those things today. I thought our defense played tremendously well. I thought our defensive line was just wreaking havoc. Linebackers played downhill. We made good tackles. We made game tackles. Secondary was swarming. So I was very, very pleased with that part of it. I thought our offense was more balanced. I thought we did a nice job in the run game. I thought we were trying to take our shots when we could, knew it was going to be difficult in their style of defense, but I thought we did a nice job of checking things down, staying ahead of the chains and doing those things. So I couldn't be more proud of our players. I couldn't be more proud of our coaches. This is just 1 week. We've got to continue to keep building. We've got to continue to keep growing. But it was good to have that happen for them, and they went out and earned it. They went out and did it. And couldn't be more proud of them. I want to say thank you to our fans. They showed up today. They were passionate like always. They did a great job at cheering and supporting our players, and that means so much to the guys in that locker room and to our university, so I want to thank them, and please keep doing that. We're going to need your support all the way through this. As we continue to go, it's about stacking weeks together and getting an opportunity, but I thought our players, when you go through everything that they went through this week, the amount of joy and the amount of love that was in that locker room was tremendous. And so we got to continue to keep growing and building on that part of it and continue to keep getting better as a football team. That being said, I'll take questions.
We'll start with Andy on front row.
With Drone specifically today, it didn't have a lot of incompletions. It looked like he was checking down quite a lot, getting through progressions. How do you feel like he did with what the game plan was and what was available to him?
Yeah, I thought he worked through the game plan really well. They do so much at keeping roofs on, whether it was in some form of 2-3 cloud. I mean, they're rotating and doing a bunch of stuff back there in the secondary. And so you had to have your eyes in the right spot. You had to do a good job at the receiver spot of trying to find windows and run back through them. We had a couple double move things that we tried to hit. We had a couple of shots down the field that we tried to hit that just weren't there. I mean, they were just too deep. So we did a good job, or he did a good job, of being able to check the ball down, find his underneath stuff, and stay ahead of the chains. Our offensive line gave him time, got a little bit of pressure here and there. For the most part, we did a good job of trying to stay out of 3rd and longs. And but I thought Kyron played within the system, played within himself, and took what they gave him. Be needy, not greedy is what we're always talking about, and I thought he did a good job of that today.
From a defensive standpoint, did Sam make things simpler for the guys this week? And it seemed like because of that, they were just flying around more efficiently and being able to make tackles instead of maybe guessing where they needed to be.
Yeah, I don't know if he really made it simpler or any of that part of it. I thought our defensive coaches and Sam had a good defensive game plan. I thought our guys did a really good job of going out and executing that game plan. I thought our defensive line played extremely well. And anytime you're getting that amount of pressure or you're moving the line of scrimmage like they did, it's always going to make good things happen for us. But again, all the gratitude goes to the players. They're the ones out there making plays.
PJ had 7 catches today.
Yeah.
What allows him and some of the other running backs who caught passes, what allows them to be so efficient? I know you were talking about how Wofford's dropping a lot of guys back, and so Kyron has to check down, but what allows a guy like PJ to be such a shifty back and get some of those extra yards as a receiver?
You probably need to talk to his mom and dad. They gave it to him, right? So I think again, Kyron did a nice job of checking things down. Running backs were open. because of the amount of depth that those guys were getting. But, you know, not to be funny, but, you know, PJ's an electric back, and, you know, he's coming off of an injury, really didn't get a lot of play in spring ball because of that, but has really done a nice job throughout the summer and throughout the fall camp, and now as we gotten into the season. He's a guy that's tough to tackle in space, got a lot of space moves about him. He's shifty in that way, and he's reliable. And I thought those guys did a really good job from a running back standpoint of being available, knowing where they could check out to and being in the right spots and being available for Kyron, and Kyron did a nice job of finding them.
Second row, Ryan.
I could say, you know, Coach Brooks coached him up on all of that. I could say that part of it, but, you know.
Coach, no Terrion Stewart today. Is he dealing with an injury or?
Yeah, he's working through some stuff. All right, he's working through some stuff. You know, he's in a good spot. I would foresee him to be back next week, but as he continues to kind of progress, we'll see how that goes. But I know he wanted to be out there today, just wasn't available, and the other guy stepped up and did a nice job.
And this is a team that scored twice on special teams so far this year. What did you see from that phase of the game?
Yeah, I thought our special teams was tremendous. I mean, kicking game part of it, you know, between all the different guys that kicked today, they did a nice job of placement, did a nice job of being strong in that phase. And then, you know, we had the one, and then we did a nice job of getting down the field and tackling and doing some things. But I thought all of our special teams played tremendously well. And, you know, that's got to continue to be a staple for us. And it's always been a staple for this university.
Let's go third row, Joey, and then Andy.
Hey, Coach, I have two questions. So you ran a lot of horizontal stuff, screens, you know, running plays to the outside. How important is it in, you know, a situation like yours where the offensive line is so young for those plays to break? And then you even ran some trickeration there. What goes into, you know, making a call like that, even though it didn't really, you know, work out in your favor this time, but, you know, maybe next time it might.
You know, I think more than anything else, you know, I said this when we first got here, you know, for us offensively, we want to make them defend the length of the field and the width of the field. And the more that we can stretch that defense, the better off we're going to have opportunities to have explosive plays and to find opportunities to move chains. And so we've got to continue to keep stretching it in both directions for us to be effective in what we want to do.
You had a number of defensive guys that didn't suit up today. Woodson, John Reddish, Caleb Brown. Is that injury situations with those guys? Are there other considerations?
No, I mean, we're going through all of that with all of them. You know, as we continue to keep evaluating in those conversations, that's kind of as we work. But as we kind of get through that part of it, that right now is going to be kind of us talking about it and us working through it. There's some injury things in that. There's some other things, so we'll be fine.
Let's go third row, Josh.
They just weren't available today, okay?
You talked about earlier this week, you had a lot of young guys playing on the offensive line. How do you think they did?
Yeah, it was good to get Mont back, you know, but we still got quite a few young guys up front. Those guys are getting better. You know, they're working hard each and every week. You know, a week ago they got thrown into the fire. You know, they're going to have to continue to keep growing, continue to keep developing. But that being said, they had a good week of practice. Obviously, I think it paid dividends for them this week, and we'll continue to keep developing them and growing them because we're going to need them throughout the year. You never know when another guy's going to get banged up. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but it could. And so the experience that they're getting right now is going to pay dividends for us later.
Let's go back of the room, Jermaine.
Coach, again, congratulations on the victory. Sort of a
Thank you,
two-part
Jermaine.
question. Number one, how has your previous head coaching experience helped you for the moment you're in right now? And number two, just how supportive your family has been during this transition.
Yeah, you know, obviously it's so beneficial to be here and have been in this situation before. It's obviously different, but some of the best parts of it are still there, right? I will tell you, the coaching staff has been tremendous. Those guys they've rallied around the players, they've rallied around each other, and we're continuing to push and grow and do what we've got to do to help prepare these kids and these young men and continue to keep growing our football team. So my hat's off to them. And as far as my family goes, you know, I'm very blessed in that sense. My wife's a stud. Cannon's doing a great job on the staff. My daughter's here, and she's so supportive, and, you know, couldn't do it without them, for sure.
All right, we got three more. We're going to stay in the back with Nolan.
Yeah, after how long this past week was, I'm sure it was at practice and everything, how good did it feel to go into halftime to kind of jump out to a lead and have control going into halftime, and then what was the message to the team there as well?
Yeah, the message to the team was, we talked about it all week. Let's play a complete game. Let's play 4 quarters, and we got to go right back out after halftime and establish that momentum again and capture it and then use it. And I thought those guys did a good job of that. So, you know, again, couldn't be more proud of their effort, the way they attacked things this week, and how productive they were.
Marcellus Hawkins specifically, what did you like in terms of what you saw from him today?
Yeah, you know, Hawk's got a lot of juice, a lot of energy. He brings a lot to the table. I thought especially early he did some really nice job of using his vision, using his power, putting his foot in the ground, going and making plays. And again, he's one of those guys that we're going to lean on. He's a guy that we got to have. And so we've got a talented running back room. Those guys do a great job of playing off of each other. And but he's a guy that can truly spark it.
Last one, Danny.
I think I lost count. It's like 7 or 8 true freshmen on defense who got their first experience today. Just to build on that, how valuable did you see getting them in there, getting some reps, and like I said, building on for the rest of the season?
Yeah, you know, I think it kind of goes back to the question earlier, you know, with our offensive line. You know, as you kind of go through injuries and other things that could potentially happen as you get into conference play, having an opportunity for those guys to get in games, feel what it's like to be in games like that, gain that experience, I think will pay dividends for us later. And so we did get a lot of young guys in today, and I was pleased with what they did. Those guys are hungry. They're ready to be on the field, and I'm excited to see them grow.
Thanks, Coach Montgomery.
All right. Thank y'all. Appreciate you.
All right, we're going to go right to breakouts. We'll start with Coach